Well, our Fox Nation investigation of what happened to Jimmy Hoffa has gotten results. A potential new dig by the FBI could come in Jersey City, New Jersey this spring. That after we were told that the remains of the legendary labor leader are buried 12 feet down in a metal barrel drum that was shipped to the Garden State from Detroit after Hoffa was murdered by the mob there on July 30th, 1975. You know, there was an infamous mob-connected dump in Jersey City called Moscato's Dump. And the son of one of the owners, Frank Coppola, told me that it was his father, businessman Paul Coppola, who actually buried Hoffa in that barrel. But he says his dad moved the body just off the dump's property line without telling the mobsters because his father did not want the body to be found on his property. So you're saying your father buried Jimmy Hoffa?
Yes. My dad, later in years, he said that he couldn't fit in the drum head, body first, feet first. They had to turn him and put him in head first.
So your father said Hoffa couldn't fit in the drum?
Couldn't fit in the drum feet first. He couldn't get the legs to bend right. So he had to take him out and put him in head first.
So, will Frank's claim help solve the Hoffa case? With us now, New Jersey lawyer Bob Bianchi, former New Jersey prosecutor who knows that dump and this case very well. So, Bob, the FBI is using Frank's story in an affidavit, but this is the one person that they have. Why do you think he's credible when there have been so many other digs that have come up empty?
Yeah, Eric, this has a different spin. One of the reasons I think that it has a different shine on it, if you don't mind me passing a compliment to you, is you and your dogged determination on this case. You got this unbelievable interview from somebody who was in a position to know. And as I understand the facts of this case, the father told him this on his deathbed. You know, prosecutors take that very seriously. It's actually an evidence rule that talks about when people say things when they're dying, they're inherently reliable. In addition to that, there's other investigative leads that led everyone to believe that this was really something that was created when Tony Provenzano, was in a fight with Hoffa, that he was killed in Detroit and brought back to Jersey. They just didn't know where in Jersey it was. So the interview you did gave the FBI crucial information with regard to an individual as credibility, supposedly heard directly from his father, the person who actually did it. So I think that, and there was another informant that had given information about the body being in Jersey as well. All of those things factored together, plus what your crew did when you went to that location and actually did like the radar, if you will, that there are barrels in that area. And it happens to be one of the areas, Eric, that was never remediated in the Superfund cleanup. So it makes a lot of sense. And that's why the FBI went out there. They did their own analysis preliminarily from the ground. They got search warrants, and there's a sealed affidavit. So all this is falling into place for them to do another dig at this location. And from what you've done, Eric, I think it sounds promising.
Well, first of all, Bob, thank you for the compliment. It's been a team effort here at Fox Nation. 2 points. He also, apparently, in 1989, Frank said his father went out to the site and showed it to him. And there are also 3 other people who've told me the same story, that Paul Coppola Sr. took Jimmy Hoffa, put him in the barrel, and buried him at that spot we were just showing. And so everyone's clear. We then took ground-penetrating radar. Fox Nation hired the ground-penetrating radar company, and we scanned that area. We may have that video of us scanning that area, and it came up with round pieces of metal, like half-round pieces of metal at the site. There it is right there. There's the ground-penetrating radar technician and myself, and you can see it on the screen. And that's what the FBI apparently did, doing the same thing. I mean, if you got this information, why don't they dig now?
Well, you know, I can't answer as to why they wouldn't. If it were me when I was the prosecutor, I want to get there as soon as possible. But I'm sure there's lots of logistics that are involved in that. And don't forget, this is also, and I think one of the reasons why this affidavit is sealed, a continuing and ongoing investigation. There may be cooperating witnesses. They may have other information that's leading them to do things in a certain order. But if I were to know personally as a prosecutor that something may be there, I want to get to it sooner than later, so there can't be any tampering with it. I'm presuming they're watching it to make sure that that does not occur. But again, I think that the son, and keeping in mind that Coppola was not an organized crime figure, he was being put in a very bad situation. And the son indicated that the father wanted to have Jimmy Hoffa's body returned back to his family, that he felt bad that he had to get involved in this because it was either do what they told you to do, the mob, or that he would be the person that would be killed. So that is, or injured or harmed. So that is something that's very compelling in terms of motive when law enforcement's looking at it, that they're not dealing with a nefarious character, quote unquote. They're dealing with somebody who did something because they were required to do it. They were forced to do it.
Frank said his father knew that if he didn't do it, they would do what they did to Hoffa to him. So that's why he did what he did. Finally, I mean, do you think there'll be a dig likely in the spring? Do you think this could ever be solved if Hoffa is indeed there?
Eric, I was a Hudson County assistant prosecutor for 7 years and drove over the Pulaski Skyway virtually every day. The thought that I could have been driving over the burial site of where Jimmy Hoffa is just really, scintillating from a strange point of view. But yes, I mean, I think there's a lot to dig there. But I think that you're heading in the right direction.
All right, and there's the site just a couple of days ago. Right there, you can see where the FBI cleared out these big bins that they have that are being stored by an unrelated waste management company next door. Bob Bianchi, former New Jersey prosecutor. Bob, thank you. And of course, all 4 episodes of